cozy games have this beautiful way of reminding us that the small things matter. Planting a seed, decorating a little corner of your world, or sharing a laugh with a friend. It's simple, but it's powerful. And when a game comes along that not only embraces that coziness, but also dares to dream about how games can inspire us in real life, well, that's something special. That's where Loftia comes in, a new cozy multiplayer game that's all about building a brighter, more sustainable future together. In Loftia, you'll find yourself in a floating world of islands and sky biomes. It's a mix of the familiar and the new, farming, crafting, decorating, exploring, but all threaded together with sustainability and community at its core. In Loftia, you can customize your floating island, then team up with others to form neighborhoods. You can farm using sustainable methods like hydroponics, aquaponics, and trellis systems. You craft by upcycling, turning discarded junk into something beautiful and useful. You get to rescue and care for animals from turtles to capybaras, with the option to give them adorable outfits that I'm really keen on. Explore together, solving puzzles in new biomes, scavenging old factories, or even discovering hidden islands. It's cozy, it's hopeful, and it has that spark of imagination that makes you think this could be the next Stardew moment. What sets Loftia apart is the way it ties coziness to sustainability. It's not just about planting crops, it's about learning new ways of farming that reflect real-world eco-innovation. It's not just about crafting furniture, it's about reclaiming and repurposing materials in a way that feels meaningful. Repurposing materials to create is incredibly powerful because cozy games have always been escapist, but here, the escape might inspire us to look at our own world a little differently. Now, as excited as I am, a game like this also sparks a flood of ideas for how it could be even more magical. What about seasonal and weather systems with purpose instead of just pretty backdrops? What if the weather was tied to the sustainability systems? Imagine harvesting solar energy during long stretches of sunshine, but then needing to adapt when a rainy season hits. Maybe storms scatter useful scrap materials across your island, or even seasonal winds allowing you to travel further into unexplored skies. And let's talk about neighborhood identity. If players can form neighborhoods, I would love to see unique community perks. Maybe one neighborhood specializes in eco-crafting, another in animal rescue, another in farming innovations. This could give each group a unique flavor and encourage collaboration between all the different communities. I've also thought a little bit about festivals and celebrations. Cozy games live and die by their sense of ritual. Seasonal festivals in Loftia could be tied to sustainability themes, like a lantern festival powered by wind energy, or a conservation day where the whole community works together to rescue animals or restore a damaged biome. These would create memorable moments that feel alive and worth logging in for. And moving on to cultural aesthetics. Right now we've heard about aesthetics like Y2K or goth, but what if Loftia reached even further? Furniture and clothing inspired by real-world traditions. That would give players even more ways to express themselves while also celebrating global creativity. I'd love to see more depth in the animal care side of things as well. Rescuing animals is already such a sweet feature, but imagine if it went deeper. Maybe each animal has enrichment needs, like building little play structures for turtles or growing plants that endangered species can thrive on. It could even teach light, positive lessons about conservation without ever feeling overly preachy. And what about player-driven eco-projects? Beyond personal farming and crafting, there could be large-scale restoration projects. Imagine the whole community working together to clean up a polluted sky river, or planting enough trees to terraform a barren island into a lush forest. The game could even evolve over time as these projects are completed. Something else that really excites me is exploration with lore. The world of floating islands is already intriguing, but what if each island carried fragments of history like old journals, carvings, or relics from before the floating age? Players could then piece together the story of how this world came to be, making exploration not just fun, but meaningful. And I think we're going to need some social relaxation spaces. Not every player wants to farm or craft all the time. Cozy multiplayer shines when you can just be together. Imagine player-run cafes, hot springs, or music nights where you can sit down with friends and share little experiences. Even something like laying on your island roof and watching a digital sky full of stars with your friends could become a core memory. And finally, I'd love to see Loftia sneak in tiny educational moments, like when you build a hydroponic setup, it gives you a fun little fact about how it works in real life. Or when you rescue an animal, you learn a bit about its habitat. It wouldn't have to be heavy, just enough to leave players with a smile and a nugget of new knowledge. Of course, it wouldn't be fair to ignore the possible challenges. What about multiplayer pressure? Cozy games thrive on letting us go at our own pace. If group projects or puzzles require constant collaboration, solo players might feel left out. It's going to be a real delicate balance, making multiplayer meaningful without locking anything essential behind it. And while sustainability is an amazing theme, it needs to be woven deeply into gameplay. If it ends up being surface level, like, oh, this farm looks futuristic, but it's basically the same as planting turnips in every other sim, then it highly risks losing its identity. And also, with so many cozy games launching these days, Loftia will need to stand out not just at launch, but months later. Will there be enough variety, enough updates, and enough community creativity to keep players engaged and active for the long term? Still, for all of the unknowns, Loftia feels like one of the most ambitious and exciting cozy games on the horizon. It's not just asking us to build farms and homes, it's asking us to imagine a world where community and sustainability are at the heart of everything we do. And that's exactly what makes it so special. If Loftia delivers on even half of what it promises, it could become a landmark cozy game, a place where farming, crafting, exploration, and friendship come together in a way that feels fresh, hopeful, and deeply human. So the question I keep coming back to is this: could Loftia actually change the way we think about cozy games? Only time will tell, but in the meantime, I'm already dreaming of my little floating island, my rescued capybara, and the community waiting just beyond the horizon. So what about you? Do you think Loftia will live up to the hype? Or do you share some of my worries? Let me know down in the comments your thoughts on Loftia, and if you enjoyed this video, liking and subscribing helps me out so much. Thank you for watching.